time to level the playing field.
The agency will hunt you to the grave.
Everyone knows Prime Video for shows like The Boys, Fallout, or Invincible, but let's be real, those are just the obvious ones. Hidden away in the catalog are some absolute gems, shows that barely get any love even though they're just as binge-worthy. So today, I'm counting down 10 underrated Prime Video series that more people need to be talking about. And hey, if you thought you've already watched everything worth seeing, think again. Number 10, The Rig, 2023.
It's waking up.
My job is to get you all home.
Now this one is pretty unique. The Rig is set on a remote oil platform out in the North Sea, and right from the start, the atmosphere feels heavy, unsettling. When a strange fog rolls in and cuts the crew off from the rest of the world, you just know something bad is about to go down. What I really like is how it doesn't just stick to survival horror. The show mixes in elements of the supernatural, then throws in a mysterious organism from the ocean floor that begins infecting the crew. On top of that, there's this bigger theme of nature fighting back, mixed with corporate secrets and greed. It's deeper than your usual monster show. Ian Glenn and Emily Hampshire give solid performances, and honestly, the isolated oil rig setting adds so much tension. Sure, it's a slow burn at times, but that's also what makes it moody and engaging. If you enjoy mysteries with a creepy edge and a bit of monster mayhem, The Rig is definitely worth checking out. Number 9, Terra Nova, 2011. Terra Nova is one of those shows that really try to do something bold, and honestly, I think it deserves more love than it gets. The story takes us 85 million years into the past, dropping humanity right in the middle of the dinosaur era, as people trying to start fresh after Earth becomes overpopulated and nearly unwillable. At the center of it all is the Anna family, who leave their dying world behind to join a time travel colony in the Cretaceous period. What makes the show interesting is that it's not just about surviving dinosaurs, though trust me, there are some great dino moments. It's also about politics, power struggles, and the challenge of building a brand new society from scratch. Think Jurassic Park meets Lost, with a strong dose of family drama woven in. Executive produced by Steven Spielberg, the series looked incredible for its time, with ambitious world building and some pretty impressive production design. Unfortunately, it only lasted one season with 13 episodes, but even with that short run, Terra Nova packs enough action, mystery, and prehistoric thrills to make it a hidden gem worth revisiting on Prime. Number 8, The Narrow Road to the Deep North, 2025. This one's a heavy hitter. The Narrow Road to the Deep North 2025 is a 5-episode miniseries based on Richard Flanagan's Booker Prize-winning novel, and it's every bit as powerful as it sounds. The story follows Dorigo Evans, a soldier, a surgeon, and ultimately a survivor, through 3 defining chapters of his life: a forbidden love before World War II, the brutality of being held captive in a Japanese labor camp, and the painful reckoning he faces decades later. Jacob Elordi absolutely owns this role. It might just be the best performance of his career so far. He's joined by Odessa Young and Stiaran Hines, who add even more depth to the emotional weight of the story. What I really like is how the series balances poetic, almost dreamlike moments with the raw horror of war. It's not an easy watch, but it's deeply human and visually breathtaking. If you're into period dramas that carry real emotional weight, this one doesn't just leave an impression, it stays with you long after the credits roll. Number 7, Outer Range 2022.
Or would it make us the ultimate joke?
I wish.
Outer Range 2022 is one of those shows that's hard to put in a single box, and that's exactly what makes it so compelling. Imagine Yellowstone, but then drop a massive, mysterious black hole right in the middle of a Wyoming ranch. That's the setup. The story follows Royal Abbott, played brilliantly by Josh Brolin, a rancher whose land is not only under threat from a rival family, but also from this bizarre void that seems to bend time and reality itself. What begins as a gritty family drama slowly transforms into a cosmic mystery. The series blends small-town conflicts with some truly mind-bending sci-fi elements, exploring themes of grief, fate, and how little control we really have over our lives. Across 2 seasons, it stays cryptic and slow burning, but that's part of the charm. It pulls you deeper the more you sit with it. Brolin is fantastic in the lead, and Imogen Poots adds so much to the show's surreal energy. If you're into time loops, family secrets, and mysteries that keep you guessing, Outer Range offers something strange, bold, and unforgettable. Number 6, Night Sky 2022.
I control everything. It's just a way to protect the secret.
Night Sky 2022 is one of those rare shows that sneaks up on you. On the surface, it's a sci-fi mystery, but at its core, it's really about love, loss, and the quiet struggles of growing older. The story follows Irene and Franklin York, played beautifully by Sissy Spacek and J.K. Simmons, a retired couple who just happen to be hiding a massive secret, a chamber under their shed that leads to another world. Now, most shows would immediately turn that into non-stop spectacle, but Night Sky takes a different path. It's slower, more intimate, and deeply emotional. As the couple wrestles with grief, aging, and regrets from the past, the arrival of a mysterious stranger forces them to question everything they thought they knew about the portal and about each other. Yes, it's a gentle, slow burn kind of series, but if you stick with it, you're rewarded with a moving story about connection, hope, and the unknown. It's not the kind of sci-fi that drowns you in explosions, and honestly, that's what makes Night Sky such an underappreciated gem on Prime Video. Number 5, Them, 2021 to ongoing. If you're into horror that doesn't just scare you but also makes you think, Them 2021 is a series you shouldn't overlook. It's a horror anthology that takes on big themes like racism, fear, and generational trauma, all while wrapping them in chilling, supernatural stories. Each season tells a different tale. Season 1, Covenant, is set in 1950s Compton, where a black family moves into an all-white neighborhood and faces not only relentless racism from their neighbors, but also something darker, malevolent forces that seem determined to destroy them. Season 2, The Scare, jumps ahead to 1990s Los Angeles, where a detective investigating a brutal murder finds herself pulled into a nightmare that's far stranger and more terrifying than she ever imagined. With 2 seasons and 18 episodes so far, the show is visually striking and emotionally raw. Performances from Deborah A. Arinde and Ashley Thomas stand out. They give the horror real emotional weight, which makes the scares hit harder. I won't lie, some scenes are deeply disturbing, and it's not always an easy watch, but that's also what makes them so powerful. It feels like a blend of Get Out and American Horror Story, except with more depth than shock value. It's bold, provocative, and definitely underrated on Prime Video. Number 4, Upload, 2020 to ongoing.
What are you doing?
Taking time off.
You don't get time off.
I was told to act more human-like. To be human is to avoid...
Since when Nora never fantasized about this before.
Upload is one of those shows that takes a crazy idea and makes it feel scarily believable. Set in the year 2033, it imagines a future where death isn't the end. Instead, your consciousness can be uploaded into a digital afterlife called Lakeview. Sounds amazing, right? Well, not exactly. The story follows Nathan, a young coder who suddenly finds himself in this virtual paradise after an untimely death. But here's the catch. His controlling ex-girlfriend basically holds the keys to his new life, while Nathan starts developing feelings for Nora, the customer service rep assigned to help him. That mix of romance, satire, and sci-fi mystery is what makes Upload so addictive. Created by Greg Daniels, the mind behind The Office, the show balances sharp comedy with surprisingly heartfelt drama. It dives into questions about technology, capitalism, and what it really means to live, but it never forgets to be entertaining along the way. With 3 seasons already out and a 4th and final one on the way, Upload feels like Black Mirror collided with The Good Place, only with its own quirky, charming style. Honestly, I think it's one of Prime Video's most underrated gems. Number 3, Leverage, Redemption, 2021 to ongoing.
This was supposed to be a quick little weekend heist.
This will take long.
If you loved the original Leverage, then Leverage Redemption 2021 is like catching up with old friends who are still just as clever and maybe even sharper. This revival brings back the classic crew of con artists and do-gooders, but with a modern twist. After the loss of their leader, Sophie Devereaux steps up to take charge, guiding the team as they continue their Robin Hood-style missions against the rich and corrupt. What I really enjoy here is how the new additions fit in so naturally. Harry, a guilt-ridden ex-lawyer, and Brianna, a young tech genius, give the show fresh energy without losing the charm of the original cast. The heists themselves? Smart, stylish, and surprisingly relevant, tackling everything from shady corporations to AI-driven scans. It's the kind of show that feels lighthearted and fun on the surface, but also layered enough to keep you hooked. With 3 seasons already streaming on Prime, Leverage Redemption is a perfect comfort binge, especially if you like crime dramas that mix brains, humor, and heart. Number 2, 000 2020.
Bigger the risk, greater the profit. Bigger risk.
This is one of the most ambitious crime dramas I've ever seen on Prime Video. It takes one massive cocaine shipment and traces its path from Mexico to Italy, showing every single layer of the global drug trade along the way. What makes it stand out is how the story unfolds from 3 different perspectives: the violent Mexican cartel producing it, the struggling Italian mafia trying to claim power, and the American family caught in the middle, acting as brokers of the deal. That structure keeps things tense and unpredictable because you're constantly shifting between worlds that all feel equally dangerous. Andrea Riseborough and Dane DeHaan give standout performances, and honestly, the whole thing feels like a movie stretched across 8 episodes, visually stunning with this simmering tension that builds like a ticking time bomb. From Dakar to Calabria, every location adds scale, making it feel truly global. Number 1, Taboo, 2017.
What the hell did you do to him, Stuart?
Topping this list is Taboo, 2017, a dark and unforgettable period drama that doesn't get nearly the recognition it deserves. Set in 1814 London, the show drips with grime, betrayal, and raw intensity. At the center is Tom Hardy as James Delaney, a mysterious and vengeful man returning from Africa to inherit his father's estate. But that inheritance, it comes with dangerous enemies: the British Crown, the East India Company, basically every powerful force of the era. Across its 8 episodes, Taboo blends historical drama with crime, political intrigue, and even touches of the supernatural. It's violent, moody, and atmospheric in a way that few series manage to pull off. Hardy's brooding performance is magnetic. Add Max Richter's haunting score, plus those striking cinematic visuals, and the show becomes a complete sensory experience. Now, fans have been waiting years for the promised 2nd season, which is still stuck in limbo. But even with just 1 season, Taboo is a masterclass in atmosphere and storytelling, a hidden gem on Prime Video that deserves way more attention. Now, if even one of these videos who's made it onto your watch list, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into streaming's hidden treasures. And hey, if you made it this far, drop a popcorn emoji in the comments so I know you're part of the real crew. Thanks for hanging out with me, happy streaming, and I'll see you on the couch for the next one.